Hello everyone, this is Dr. An. As we discussed in the previous class, we are going to start the Microsoft Excel hands-on session today. This is first of three series that we're going to focus on some of the basics and how to use this formatting feature to design templates, and maybe we can build a simple Excel application using your own formula. And during those formula building sessions, we'll learn about important concept called relative copy and absolute copy. Before we start, I'd like to congratulate all of you who are doing well for the course so far, and I appreciate your hard work and I hope you can keep it up. Also, as I recommended on previous announcements, it might be best for you to use another device to watch this video, such as tablet and smartphone, and open this Excel application on your computer or laptop and follow all the steps that I do. Then I think it will be much more efficient to learn about this application. Many of you already had my classes, so you know me well, but some of you never had my classes before, so probably this is first time you are hearing my voice. I just hope that my voice is, sound good enough and clear enough so that you can follow this lesson well. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to just show my Excel spreadsheet here on the screen, but I also opened up the PowerPoint slides that I put up on previous week. So if you can just open up PowerPoint slides and use some of them as a reference, it might be helpful for you to follow this lesson. Some of you already know these basics, and if you feel very comfortable about what I just mentioned, then you may just go to the ending part of this video lesson and just to find out what the homework project is about, and you guys can complete that project and wait until next series. So this is mainly for those people never learned Excel or never worked with Excel, and you like to learn what it is and how it works, so that you can use this at the workplace or for other applications. Okay. First thing that you have to know is customizing your working area. I'm using Microsoft Office for Mac 2008. So some of the look may be different from yours. If you are using Windows operating system and Office for Windows, they usually have menus on the top, then these two buttons, and then you might have some other buttons. We call those ribbons, and the buttons and everything is arranged differently for different editions. So those are the things that you need to get familiar with it. So pause this video lesson right now and just go through all the different sections and find out which things are where. I want you to especially pay attention to File menu and see if you can find the Open file or New file, okay, and Save file, Print file, and so forth. And then you should have an Edit menu, and we are in edit mode right now. So I just want you to feel comfortable with all the settings and this working environment. And one more thing, if you think that those little boxes are too small for you, some reason, then you can always go to View menu and choose Zoom. On this Mac application, I have a tool button for Zoom, and I can drop this and choose any percentage size of the spreadsheets. 100% will be how it's gonna print out, okay? But if you want to work with a bigger box, then you can choose bigger portion. I chose 150%. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes, and you can pause on this video and just spend about 5 minutes to find out which things are where. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody now feel comfortable about this Excel menus and two buttons and where to find things and so forth. So we're gonna go to Excel topic, and this Excel application comes with multiple sheets. So on my Excel, I have these sheet ID. Sheet is comprised of these many boxes. You can actually create as many columns and as many rows as you can. Technically, this Excel application capacity is only limited by capacity of your memory on your system. So if you need to create new sheets or more sheets, you can just click plus button on the bottom, and as you can see, they keep on adding different sheets. Now you can switch back and forth like that, and also if you right click, then there's a rename options. In Mac, you have to press Control button and click, then you can see this, and you can rename the name of the sheets to anything. For the time being, let's call it format. Okay. All right. So that's how you can customize the working spreadsheet. Okay. Next is to understand what this little block means. Each block is called cell. Okay, and it comprises of multiple cells on Excel spreadsheets. Each cell, you can think of it as a box that can contain informations, data, or formula, or anything you want. Okay, and nice thing about Excel spreadsheet is that once you contain the data, then that data can be referenced by this box ID. So you can think about this rectangular block as a placeholder for data. In mathematics, in college algebra, you guys learned x, y variables. Basically, these boxes are variable. So based on your need, you can change the content to anything you need, anything you want. Okay. So how do we identify each box? Each box can be identified by column letter and the row number. So as I type A1 here, this particular box or cell is identified by A1. Of course, you don't have to type A1 in there. Anything you type there is data. So I can put 20, or I can put David on, whatever you want. Those are going to be the data that will be placed on this A1 cell. Is that clear? Okay, so if I want to choose this little box, then this will be D5. Okay? So if I click this one, then this one will be B3, and so forth. Now on my Excel edition, as soon as I select anything, then only that column and row will be highlighted like here. So I know I can see this is C4. Okay. In Microsoft Windows, the Excel should have worked similar way, so you're not gonna have any issue. Okay. There's also something called name box over here in Windows version, and they show which cell you are working on. Okay, but on this Mac version, I don't have that name box, so I can just find out by looking at column letter and row number. So let me ask you a question here. What is this one? What is the cell ID of this cell? That's right. You probably just said B2. That's correct. So this is the B2, and I feel that you know this pretty well now, right? Okay. All right, next thing that we're going to learn is how we can differentiate one cell from another. As you can see, anything that I select here, that cell border is a little highlighted. This is called active cell. So active cell is one that you selected and ready to enter data. The rest of them is not active. So at least Excel application lets you manage selecting one box at a time, or a few boxes at a time if you select and drag. Okay, so I just want you to know anything that you selected on the spreadsheet is called active cell, and that is the particular box you are working on or cell you are working on. So I want you to get familiar with it. Next thing that we are going to do is understanding how we can customize this cell size. Okay, there are multiple ways to customize the cell size, but my favorite way is using my mouse to customize the cell width like this, or cell row heights like that. Okay, so idea is if you just move your mouse point place between the letter on the top or between the numbers on the row, then you can drag to extend it or pull it up to shrink it. Okay? Is that easy to do? I know some of you never done this, so it will be a little confusing in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite easy pretty soon. Okay? Alright, so that's how you can customize the size of the cell block. Okay. And also, as you just saw, if I need to select entire row, all you have to do is click the row number. Then as you can see, entire cell row 1 has been selected. Or if you want to choose particular column, then you can select the column letter. In this case, I selected the B column. Also, you can select particular range of cells using your mouse. So in this case, I am selecting from B2 to E13. Okay, so this is pretty easy to do. Okay, next lesson that we're going to do is understanding how to format Excel spreadsheets. Okay. Some people use Excel to design forms and templates because you can make as many little blocks as you want, and you can also combine them, split them. So you know that's all it takes to design a form, isn't it? So we are going to just create a registration form together. Okay, so I'm going to pull up our website that shows a typical registration form. Okay, so I'm going to search internet to reference what is form like. So I'm gonna open up Google Chrome. Okay, and I'm going to search registration form. Not registration from, but form. Okay. And you can click on image option to see what might be best uh, registration form we can borrow. Okay, not something too complicated, but simple enough. Okay, here's one. Let's see. Alright, this looks to be okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to borrow this layout. This simple event registration form has name, title, company, email, phone number, and are you an existing customer or not, and little button register. So obviously we're not going to be able to create a button today and let this thing to go to web server or any registration server applications, but we can at least replicate this registration form using Excel format. Okay, so having this available, okay, now we are going to create exactly same thing and enhance the look even better. Okay, so again, we like to have simple event registration. So I want you to select A1 and type simple event registration form. Okay. And I want you to know that when there's no data on column B and C, and you just enter the long, lengthy data like this, then it just display entire information there. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's automatically stretching out to column C. This content is still on A1. Okay? So if I happen to choose B1, okay, you may not be able to see some of the writings because technically that data you entered is in A1 cell, not B1. Okay, so just in case you print out with some other data on B1, then this will be chopped off. Okay, and you're not gonna be able to see the entire thing. Okay, let's test it out. So I'm gonna choose B1 now, and here I'm gonna just type test. Okay, as soon as I hit test, I hit return, as you can see, the words after event is all hide out. So I just do not want you to get confused between how they appear. Okay, all right. But there is a simple rule that you can actually combine these cells together and make into one gigantic cell. Okay, this is something called merge option. Okay, those of you have a Mac Office, then all you have to do is click this toolbox, and this toolbox shows up, and you can just select the cell, okay, that you like to merge, and you can go to alignment and spacing, and there's a merge cells option. Okay, and click OK. Now active cell covers entire selection that you made. So this is how you can merge cells. Sometimes you want to split the cell. So what do we do? In that case, you can split the cell by unselecting merge cells. Okay, then it goes back to the previous form. So again, let's just test this out together. You select the cell range and click on merge cells. Then it forms into one gigantic cell that covers all 5 columns. Okay? But if you unselect the merge cell, then it goes back to previous format. Now on Windows, unfortunately, you do not have this. Okay? However, you have a quicker way of combining these cells. Okay? That is, first to select the range of the cells that you like to merge and right click, and there's something called format cell option. Okay, so if you click on that, okay, then there's multiple format cell tabs menus here, and you can go to alignment and you can choose merge cell there and click OK. Okay, then you have exactly same output and result as we use the toolbox up there. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna pause here and I'll let you practice this, and you know, you can resume after you feel comfortable with this. Okay, hope I'm going at the right speed. Like I said, these things might be easy for you, for some people. Then, you know, you can skip the video. There's always benefit of learning at your own speed, right, and your pace. So do not stuck on something you know already and get bored, but move on, okay? But those of you never done this before, just take your time and follow the lesson and do the ample practice so you won't miss anything that we did. Okay, so that's how you merge the cell. And also, you know, since many of you are using Windows, I'm going to just use Windows menu. So those of you have Mac, just to remember, this toolbox is the magic box. You can just click and bring out all the formatting information. Okay, then you can select whatever we do. Okay, but I'm going to use Windows menu so people can follow me better. Even on Mac, you can press Control button and mouse button together. Then you have a effect of right click. So you may be able to bring out those hidden menu. Okay? All right. One next thing that we like to do is actually making this font bigger. You know, simple event registration form is the title of this form, and you know, you like to make it bigger. And also, by default, it's writing on the bottom, but maybe center alignment and you know, even locating this letters center in the in vertical orientation might be better, right? So what we are going to do is learn how we can align the text. Okay, so again, I can click, right click, and cell format cells option. Okay, and here I'm going to choose alignment. Okay, just briefly going over this format cell window. Let's see what things are available to us. Okay, first, numbers. Excel's spreadsheet application is first designed to easy bookkeeping. So numbers are most important data, and they have different category of numbers available provided here. Okay, so general is basically general number, but if you click numbers, they show you how many decimal places you want, and you want to have 1,000 separator like comma, or how would you like to display the negative numbers. Okay, right. If you choose currencies, then whatever the number you enter into the box will automatically have this dollar sign in the front. Okay, like here. And accounting, you have an option of customizing decimal places as many as you want. Date. There are many different format of dates are used, so you can actually pick and choose. And same thing goes with the time, percentage, fraction, scientific, text, special, and custom. Okay, and this custom is your own format, so you can actually define here, and you can build the particular format information to the selected active cell. Okay. Next thing is alignment. This is mainly our focus today. Okay. Here you can choose the horizontal alignment. So if you click this arrow, you can choose left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, or fill, justify, center cross. I want you to just test it out, okay? But eventually you are going to choose center because we like to centerize it, okay? And also vertical orientation, you have top, center, bottom, justify. We are going to choose center. Some of you might be interested in what this is, okay? This is actually text angular orientation. You can just move it around, and if you apply, you see that? You apply that angular oblique orientation here. Whenever you don't want this particular format you just applied, or anything you did, like many other applications, you can always select undo. Then it goes back to the previous steps. Okay. All right, let's go back to alignment one more time. And we want center horizontal alignment and center vertical alignment. Here's the indentations. We don't have to worry about that. And here's another interesting options called text control. You can wrap the text or shrink to fit. Wrap the text option, if you select it, then if you happen to type in more than more than the column width. Okay, so I'm going to just type gobblish here. Then it automatically goes to next line within this cell box. Do you see this? Okay. Anything after row 1, height, has a similar effect of the simple event registration form we displayed on A1. As soon as you type something on B1, some of them were truncated or hidden behind, right? Same thing goes to this row height. So if the row height is not tall enough, then you get cut off like that, okay? There's a little direct remedy though. If you want to optimize the cell height or column, all you have to do is bring your mouse point between those row number and double click. Double click, then Excel automatically optimize the cell size for you. So Excel is pretty smart applications, and there are many things you can do with Excel. Well, we don't want all these changes, so I'm gonna click undo. Okay, so I got what I want. So you can test it out. Pause it here and try to create this and feel comfortable with those format cell window. Now I think you guys got the idea, okay? This is pretty simple to do, and using this merge options, text to wrap options, and customizing cell width and cell height, now you can create any form of your own. So we're going to go back to that this simple event registration form, and we are going to complete this. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna show you how I complete this one. Okay. All right. Well, we don't need to exactly replicate this. So we're gonna make this registration form better than this one. Okay, all right, let's do this. So it says fill out the form to register to our event, right? So I'm gonna go to A2 this time and type that. Fill out the form. Okay, and I don't need this cell 1, so I'm gonna just hit space to delete it. Okay, and what I need is a little tighter first row, right? So I just drag to shrink it, and I need to merge this. Okay, so I can select those cells and choose format cell options to merge. Okay, all right, so I do that. Okay, however, there's even smarter way to do it. Suppose what you intend to do is exactly same as this one, but you just want to have less height for the cell. Okay, then this is what you can do. Select the one that has customized format. Okay, then you can go to toolbar section and look for this format paint button. Okay, and if you click it, now your active cell border is now blinking. Do you see it? Whenever you select the cell and you need the follow-up action, then the borderline is going to be always blinking like this. Okay, this will be the case when you copy the data of a particular cell. You will see same blinking borderline. All right, so what I just did is copy the format information that I applied to this first row. And I want you to notice my mouse point even changed to little brush and small cross. Do you see it? And what you are doing is using your mouse, you are going to apply that format to new selection. In my case, I like to merge the cell and centralize all the alignments. And there we go. So instead of going through format cell and redoing all the repeated steps, if you build anything well and you like to reuse or apply exactly same format information, then this format paint is a very nice tool option to copy that format and apply. Make sense? All right, so we actually finished these two lines, but as you can see, the simple event registration is much bigger font than the second line. So what we like to do is I like to make this text size bigger. Okay, now don't get confused between this zoom feature and actual size increase or decrease. Zoom is just stretching out or shrinking the view for you, but it has nothing to do with the data property. Okay, so if you want to change the font size, then you have to go to Toolbox and choose different font size. Okay, say 22, right? 18. Okay, this is what you gotta do. Some of you do not have this, so what do we do then? Well, same thing goes to same thing like previous case. You can hold on to Control and click the mouse button for Mac users, while the Windows users can just simply click right mouse button, and you can go to Format Cell options again. Okay. Now here, there's a font tab, font menu, and you have all the things that you saw on the toolbox. Okay, so you can choose regular, italic, bold, bold, italic, and font size like Microsoft Word. So I think this is self-explanatory, and I'm going to just close that. Okay, so here's a nice two lines that we replicated from this form. Okay, next one is a little line underneath. Um, fill out the form line. Basically, this line that I like to replicate. Okay. All right. So what you can do is you can select those cell range. If you want to make a underline right below this, that might be a little too tight. So I'm going to intentionally use another row to give a little space on this title of the form and that horizontal line. Okay, so I select those range of the cells, and again, if you have access to the toolbox, then you can find there's a section for borders and shading options. Okay, and if you open that, then there's a type. This is a border types that you can draw. If I choose this underline bottom border, okay, then it draws the bottom border right here. Do you see it? Okay. Or if you want to make it double line, then I can choose this, and that will create double line. Let me just keep double line here. Okay. Okay. How about other people? Well, let's double check. Actually, I need to see if format cell has it or not. Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, it does have border options. Okay, so here you can go to border and you can choose line style. You guys can choose this double line, and you can choose only the bottom. Okay, then here's a thumbnail view of your selection, and this is text, and this is the border you're going to apply to the selected range. If you need to just make a outline of the border onto entire cell, then you can click this button, and that will do. Okay, click OK. Alright, so we got the horizontal line, but there's too much separation between this title of the form and the horizontal line. It looks awkward, isn't it? So we can go here and drag it up. Okay, like this. So you will have just a nice separation between title and this registration section. Okay, hope everything is going well so far, right? And if I'm going a little too slow, obviously you can just skip the video and go backward. I just want to focus on this lesson to those people never used Excel before or used rarely, so you need to recoup all the skills and techniques to go along with this. Okay, all right. So now we have this name section and title section and company name, email, phone number, and are you an existing customer selection, and register button, right? Again, like I said, we're not gonna draw this register button. Only this form will be designed, and you may be able to print it out and hand it over to people and then collect them, right? Okay, so next thing is name, right? So this one is using like left aligned name, right? As you can see it. So we're going to do that. However, there is a little indentation. So I just want to have this name to be displayed right below letter S in simple event. I like to keep this alignment. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, the magic is you have so many cell blocks and you can customize size any way you want. So we can actually even align that by moving the border size like that. Okay, and if you want to still keep this heading to be occupying up to this size here, you can stretch that border to the right. Okay, so I didn't lose any of the cell width for the title section, but now I have a little line guide here, okay, that I can use it as a left indentation and line guide. Okay, so I'm going to skip a row, so it will be a little spacious, and design-wise, it will be looking much better, right? This is stretched out too much, so I'm going to just shrink a little bit. Okay, then here's the name. Okay, and title. Again, I'm going to skip a row. Type title. And company. And email. And phone number. Okay. And I think there will be too much of separation between these label, guide, and entry box. So I'm gonna shrink the column B width a little bit. Okay. And extend E again. Okay. Alright. By the way, this was accidentally drawn, so never mind. And what you can do is right click and just clear contents. Okay, then oops, it only clears the contents, not the format. So you guys can actually delete it. Okay, when you delete it, now this delete window pops up, and they give you option of shifting all cells below it or on the right hand side to the left, or the cells below go up, or entire row, entire column. I'm going to choose cells up, so I'm not going to mess up with this format here. Okay. Okay, so I got rid of it. Or you can just simply go to edit menu and choose clear format. Okay. Alright, so we got nice position for these label titles, but this phone number is going to be a problem. So what do? As we learned, you guys can select that cell, go to format cells, and you can go to alignments and wrap text, and okay. Okay, so it automatically push down to the next row when the cell width is not wide enough, but it increased the cell height. That's the downside. Okay. All right. Now we need a little box, right? So first name and last name. So we're going to shrink this size a little bit, but extend this size and this size. Okay. So and maybe we can actually make a little space. Okay. Okay. All right. So what we are going to do is actually we need to merge one more column. Turned out because I need another cell range, another column for the last name. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to combine these two again. What do? You guys go to format cells and just we select merge, and then it merges it. Okay, and as I done before, I'm gonna copy the format and apply it to the next row. Oops, even copy the font size, so we don't want that. So unfortunately, we have to go to format cell directly and choose merge options manually again. But that's not bad. Alright, so next is this one. We can again go to cell border and choose double line option and only the bottom and click OK. So I didn't lose anything, but this gives me a little bit of benefit of having another cell for last name. Okay. So okay. I think this is pretty good. Okay. So I intentionally insert a column between first name and last name because it has that space right here. Okay. And I'm going to put a little block, and you can go back to format cell and choose the outline border, and this is predefined border preset, so you can select and apply. Okay, and again, what do we do if I want to copy exact format? Format paint and apply, so you don't have to go to those multiple steps. Okay. For the title, we need the entire cell. These three cells should be merged into one. So you guys know how to do it now, right? Go to Format Cells and Alignment, Merge, and Border, Outline. Good. Okay, there we go. And same thing with the company. Now this company should be exactly same as this, right? Because I don't have any content inside, so I just want to copy exact same thing. So here's your Word, the Microsoft Word skill comes. You can do Control C to copy it, and then Control V to paste it. Right? Whenever you copy, merge the cell to another location, then that keeps all the format information and copies it. If it has any data here, then even that data will be copied onto this new location. Okay, so it's pretty convenient. Okay, next thing is email. Okay, so we have to create another one, so we can just paste it here. Okay, and phone number. Phone number is phone number has a little issue here because we only have one column that dimensions the size, but this one is smaller than this one, right? So we're going to just make even the phone number to be one box and let the user see what kind of format they have to apply. Okay. All right. How are we doing so far? Hopefully everybody doing well. Okay. All right. So now we basically replicate all of this, and then are you existing customer? We're going to write that here. Okay, and we're going to have yes and no. Okay, and we're gonna do a little trick here, right? We don't have much of flexibility as far as dimensioning it, right? Since we have only one cell block. Okay, so if you had multiple columns merged on the top, then you have more flexibility. But if you just didn't think that ahead of time, then we're gonna just do a little trick. But I'm going to show you a trick so you can apply this later. Okay? I guess knowing this trick is better than having a lot of columns and using only the merge options. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Here we are going to select and then go to insert menu, and like Microsoft Word, there should be symbols. Actually, this one doesn't have it. Okay. Alright, so what we are going to do is go to Format Cell again. Oh, this is your friend by now, right? Format Cell. And then we're going to choose Font. Okay. And go to Winding section. Okay, and then you have those boxes and weird symbols shows up. Okay, so idea is what we like to do is by selecting this winding font, we like to come up with a checkbox. Okay, and if you type it, it will give you different symbol. Faster way of finding what you need is probably looking at word winding, because that displays the entire thing. Okay, I think we are almost there. So I'm just trying all the keys on the keyboard, and I found it. This is what I like to have. Okay, so they can check. And I'm going to copy that and paste it here. Okay, and this particular one needs to be next to yes, so I'm going to choose right alignments. So here, horizontally right, and maybe we can give a little indentation. That was too big. So we can go and no indentation. Oh, did we say left alignment? Maybe that's why. Okay, we gotta go to right alignment. Right, and give one indentation. Sorry guys, this is too big. So no indentation. Okay. They are fooling me now. Right alignment, no indentation. Okay, that's good. There we go. Alright. But you know, by looking at what I did for trial and error, probably you just learned how I modify things, and that's also part of the skill set. Okay, here we're going to type yes. Okay, and here we're going to type no. Okay, so you know, although we didn't have those boxes, we just found out how we can go around it. Okay, all right. So this is the similar registration form that we borrowed from the internet. Okay, but we like to make it even better. So how do we do that? Probably we like to make a nice title. Okay, so I can select this. Okay, and go to toolbox if you have it. Right, or if you don't have it, again, you can go to your friend Format Cell. Okay, and choose the pattern and you can choose cell shading to be black. Okay, and go to font and font color to be white, and maybe we can even choose bold and click OK. Alright, so now what I just did is selecting the background to be filled with the black color, and I changed the font text color into white. So it looks a little more professional, isn't it? Okay, and we can also change the font size of this, so that will be more appropriate for this title page. So I use the mouse to select entire thing that I want to modify, and again I go to cell format. Okay, and I want to change the font size to 16. Alright, so how does this look? Oh, we have a little problem here. This cell width is not too big, not too wide enough. So I can go here, or I can just double click to for this thing to optimize it for you. Okay. So we just completed one form. We have a problem. Problem is this one right here, right? So we have to modify a little bit. I think this is enough. Okay, so we just completed the simple event registration form, and this one looks better than original. I hope you agree. Okay, now what? We should be able to save this. Okay, so you can click Save button here if you already given the name of the file. Otherwise, you can go to File and choose Save As option. Okay. I don't think you can see that because my screen capture size is not big enough, but everybody knows how to select File menu and Save As option, right? And here you can call it Lesson 1. Okay, and I want you to notice this particular Excel version at .xlsx. Okay, most common extension is .xls, like Word document has a .doc. So I want you to know that. Okay, and I want you to know where you're going to save this, and so you know where to retrieve it. Okay, once that is done, click Save. Alright, so now this entire thing is saved. I want to see how it looks like on 100% view, then this is how it looks. Okay? Alright, sometimes you guys want to see how this thing might be printed out, then you can go to View, and you can actually go to File, okay, and Print. Windows has a preview option, and you can see all of the thumbnail view of how this is going to print out. If this is not what you want, then you can go to Page Setup and customize it. Okay. All right. So one more thing on the Windows Excel. Unless you select the print area, it will also print some of unnecessary cells to the right hand side and the bottom. So that will look ugly. So in that case, you can choose File, Print Area, and using your mouse, you can select the area, or you can make a selection for the print only. So only that selected area will be printed out. Okay, so that is our first topic, how we can use Excel to design templates or forms. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is building an Excel application. Um, I choose I chose maybe grade average calculation project. Okay, so given student test score, how can we get the average and all those information? Well, using Excel, you might be able to design one and use it as a template. So next time you have a student who needs to calculate the average, you can just open this Excel application, enter the test score, then it will automatically shows average. Okay, so that's next thing to do. So I want you to select sheet 2 this time. Okay, so this is a brand new. Again, because this is a brand new sheet, it shows default size 100% view. I'm going to customize it again to 150% view. And like I did, I'm going to just merge this. And give a title. Okay, title will be grade average grade calculation. I'm just making dummy and just plain title here. Okay, and we need to centerize this. So again, you go to format cell, and we can choose center options, and font maybe a little bigger. Okay, so we're going to choose 18 and click OK. So there we go. All right, now we need to enter the student's grades. So we're going to just simply say test 1, test 2, and so forth, right? Well, let's say we have a 10 test score, and typing this is, tiring, isn't it? So is there any way we can automate this? Excel actually provides something wonderful called fill series. It's called fill series. I'm going to type it here. Fill series. Okay. This is an option built into Excel, and what you need to do is simply select what you typed or sample. So these are going to be used as a reference, and if you use your mouse and position to the right bottom, I want you to notice there's a little dark spot right there. Okay, so if I move my mouse on top of that white mouse prompt, change it to thin black mouse prompt. I hope you saw it. Then you can right click to drag down. Okay, and I want you to notice that little tooltip shows up on yellow box, changing those test numbers automatically. Do you see it? And then lift your finger from the right mouse button and choose fill series option. Alright. Then instead of typing those same thing 10 times, you just happen to type it once and use the fill series to fill the rest. Okay. Then you can select these and change their format. So we're gonna choose 12, and we will choose center alignment, and maybe we like to choose different font family. Let's choose Arial. Okay, so we got those test names or test numbers listed up here. Okay. Now, just in case you do not like this, you can retype it. This might be better, isn't it? All right. So will the fill series work again? Yes, it does. And all you have to do is just lift up your right mouse button and it fills up all the numbers in sequence. This fill series options are very interesting because you can start with a consecutive number like that. Okay, actually this one didn't fill series but copied it. So this is why you have to hold on to right mouse button and lift it up and then choose fill series option. Okay. Why doesn't it do it? Sorry, my bad. Okay, that's how you do it. Or sometimes you might have to skip a number, let's say every other number, okay? Then what you need to do is give the second number as a reference to build a pattern. See, 1 and 3, I skipped 2 intentionally. Then I can select first 2, then right click and choose fill series. Now you are skipping every even number, only odd number shows. So you can create any pattern you want. Okay, say I want to skip every 5. Okay, then you can select enter 6 on the second one and select 2, and then rest of them to fill series. There we go. Okay, is this fill series working for only numbers? No, you can have days. Let's say Monday, right? And then you can fill series. So the rest of them automatically updated for you. Or even month. I'm gonna put January. Okay. And if you do that, then it changes to consecutive month names. So hope you can use this fill series option effectively. I wanna just delete this. So clear all. Okay. So we got we understand how fill series is working now. Okay. And I'm going to assume test1 score will be added in here and test2 score here and so forth. Okay. All right. So let's say we got 95, 80, and 85, 89, and then 77. 99, 100, and 88, 92, 95. Okay, so the students did pretty well. And we like to find their average. Okay, so how do you find the average? You can always add them all up, right? So you can get total sum first, then you can divide it by how many tests you had, right? That's the average formula, isn't it? So first thing that we are going to do is just that. So you can build your own formula, okay? And whenever you are building your own formula, you start with equal sign, okay? So as soon as you start any cell with equal sign, Excel automatically expects some kind of a formula or reference to be given to you. Okay. Well, if you are doing this using calculator, you have to enter every number manually, right? Okay. Once again, but on Excel, you don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, you have something called sum function. Okay. I just want you to notice that as I type some of the letters, this Smart IntelliSense shows all of the built-in function that starts with SUM. So you see other built-in Excel functions here. We're gonna talk about this functions next time. So for the time being, I want you to know that there's a sum that can add up range of data. Okay, and whenever you are using function, you always put a parenthesis to indicate parameter. Now, Excel also provides this smart intelligence to guide what kind of format you need. So in some function, you have to have a number 1, number 2, and those should be keep on added by comma, separated by comma, or you can simply give a range. Okay, the way to do it is go to the first test score and select the range by mouse. You see that Excel automatically updates the parameter for you. So all you have to do is close the parentheses and hit enter. So this one has sum of all these 10 test score. It turned out to be 900. Okay, let's say this is Michael's test score. Okay, and let's say here's Jeff test score and Jenny's test score here. Okay, all right. Jeff didn't do as well as Michael. Let's say he got 89 and 34 once, then 75, 69, 88, and 89, 75, 77, 95, then 100 to close it strongly. Jenny did pretty well, 98 and 89, 95, 97, 99, 95, 94, 91, 90, 100. Okay, so we got 3 students test score here, right? And we actually found the sum, right? So this is subtotal. I should say total. Okay. You got 900 here. And I want you to notice that this one has a built-in formula. How do I know? If you double click to edit it, it shows the built-in formula like that. Okay. And also this little colorful box shows the range of the data. Okay, if you build a formula for Michael, you don't have to rebuild the formula for Jeff and Jenny because you are going to exactly doing the same thing, right? So what you are going to do is copy this formula. Okay, I just copied it by Control C, and I want you to notice that there's a blinking border around. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to paste it, Control V. Hey, what happened? I copied 900 and pasted here, but it didn't copy the value. What it copied is the formula. Let's take a look. You see, we copied the formula, sum, and it even smartly selected the same range, D3 to D12. Okay, all right, let's see if it works on this one as well. It did. Okay, so if I just double click on it, problem is this one doesn't have formula, so this sum turned out to be not a good, it's not correct. So why did this happen? Because I didn't copy the formula. Okay, so I'm gonna copy formula again using Control C, and if I paste it using Control V, now that total has been updated. So let's recap a few things. What we did is we just build a little grade book here, and this class has a 10 test and 3 students, and we like to build an Excel application that calculates the average of the students. Okay. Interesting thing is, after obtaining the data, which is the test score, we could use a built-in formula called sum. And instead of typing all those data, I could just use mouse to select the range of data, and it successfully calculate the sum. And after building once, I can reuse it to all other similar data set. Interesting thing is, I didn't have to update the data, but Excel actually figured out which data they have to add them up, right? So here, they knew these data needs to be added. And what I did is simply copied it here, right? And it knows these are the Jeff's test score. And these are the Jenny's test score, right? So what we just did is something called relative copy. Okay, so when I copy something, okay, it's not copying actual number if you have that cell content start with equal sign. What it copies is this formula, okay? And when they copy this formula, they try to see what is the C3 from this cell location. Okay. C3 from this cell location is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cell above. And knowing this colon is setting the range, Excel recognize this sum is not single data, but range of data. And they look at C12, which is just right above it, right? So when I copy this formula, instead of copying C3 and C12 directly, what they did is they copy the cell reference information. From this cell, C3 is 10 above, and the range starts from the cell 10 above from here all the way to cell just above it, or C12. So they copy this formula sum on this cell reference given by C3 and C12. So when I paste it here, it copied the sum function, but now they apply the cell reference. From this active cell, first data should be 10 cells above, right here. And then it considers the range of data up to cell just above it. Same thing goes here. 10 above is the starting point, and right above it is the ending cell for range. And they calculate the sum automatically. Isn't that wonderful? This is something called relative copy. We call this relative copy because the formulas or any data reference is relatively changing based on their location. So what they are copying is not the data or actual content, but the cell reference. Again, this one copies some function with cell reference 10 above till just 1 above. So when I paste it here, it goes to 10 above, not 95 here, but 10 above, directly above it, okay? And then 1 above it. And this will be the new data range for this particular cell. When I go here, same thing happens. It will go to 10 above and just 1 above. And that will be the cell data range, okay? So, I hope you found this relative copy so powerful. Correct? Okay, so let's do a little more stuff here. This is just a total average, but we haven't found average yet, right? So, average, test average. Okay, test average should be then what? Equals to this thing, right? So I can always use mouse to select the data. And I want you to notice that I am dividing this 900 total by 10. On computer, this slash represent division. On the keyboard, there's no division button available. Okay, so the slash will give you division. Okay, so I am dividing 900 by 10, but instead of using the numerical value 900, I use the cell reference. So in this formula, what does it do? It simply go up one cell and then borrow the content of the cell and replace right here. And then divide that by 10. So as you expected, the average is going to be 900 over 10 or 90. We got it. All right, so I'm going to copy this and paste to both range. I build a formula once and I apply it to individual data set. So I got 90, 79.1, 94.8 for Jenny, and I can apply this to entire class. Think about the productivity gain you get. Otherwise, you have to enter everything on calculator and calculate the average individually. On Excel, you don't have to do that. You know what's even better? Let's say Michael came up and said, "Oh, teacher, this test 577 is wrong. You calculated wrong." Okay, I mean, this is human error. I found that in fact he got 97 instead of 77. Alright, so I have to go here and correct it, right? So I am correcting his 77 into 97. Now, before I enter 97 here, I want you to see what happens to the total and test average, okay? I'm typing 97 and hit enter. As soon as I hit enter, that updated data also apply to that formula we built for total and average, and both total and average is going to be updated as well. So in business world, you are going to do a lot of account reconciliation, and you might have to even modify some of the data. Okay, here's one example. If the formula is correct, then as long as you enter the right data, okay, then it automatically recalculates the total and average for you. So this is why business loves Excel spreadsheets. They build the formula once, then next day all they have to do is pull the data from database and then apply the built-in formula. Everything they need is automatically here. I think either next lesson or last lesson, we are going to even learn about what if study or what if scenario, and we can actually let Excel determine what kind of letter grade they get based on the range of grade that we inform to Excel. Wouldn't that be nice? So wait for that lesson, okay? So what we just built is a simple Excel application that calculates the average of students' grade, and we use some of built-in Excel function called sum, and we also built our own customized formula, and we use the relative copy to do that. Okay. Hope this is understandable. Okay, now we go to next topic called absolute copy. Just to let's recap what the relative copy was. Relative copy was actually using the cell reference information. So when you build the formula once and apply to similar pattern on the other data set, then you don't have to rebuild it or modify it. All you have to do is copy and paste, and they give you each respective result, right? In our case, we build the formula for Michael once, but when we copy that formula to Jeff and Jenny, their total and average was automatically calculated. So it was a very powerful feature of Excel spreadsheets. Problem is sometimes you need to reference on only one particular cell. Let's say A3. Okay, so A3 we got 1. Okay, say this is the extra credit for those students who did all the homework and participate excellently in the classroom. Okay, right? And we like to always refer to this extra credit points. Okay, and we're going to add that to the test average, so that's substantial extra credit points. All right, now let's say I want to add this, so after calculating this, and I'm going to add 1. Now I want you to notice that I put the parentheses around C13 over 10 because unless you put those parentheses, you might be messing up with the calculation precedence. Okay, so in order to not to make such calculation mistake, I intentionally add the parentheses around, so PEMDAS can be executed on calculation. Okay, all right, so I entered it, right? And I like to give that extra credit to everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and paste to these. Okay, now I get some weird result. For instance, Jeff average turned out to be warning. It says I need a value. This is a warning for no value or value reference was not available. Okay. How about this guy right here? Average is 189.8. That's impossible, right? So there's a miscalculation and wrong result is displayed. What's going on? If you remember what we learned on reference copy, okay, or relative copy, here we actually copied A3, right? So A3 location from this active cell is going 1 to the left and going up 10. So that cell reference has been added onto this formula. So when I copy that formula for Jeff, it was doing same thing. It was actually going 2 to the left and go up 10 units, test 1. And obviously test 1 is not number, so that's why you had that pound value exclamation mark at a sign. Okay, what about this guy? Since I copied the same formula, this guy will now go 2 units and move up to 10, so it will be adding 95. That's why the average was so big. Okay, so how do we fix this problem? Obviously you can manually go here, and instead of adding A3 you can add 1. Okay, now when you do that, let's see what happens. You get 93, and if I copy and paste it here, right, it calculates everything correctly, right? So you may ask, hey, why don't we do this? Problem is, sometimes you give them more extra credit. So instead of 1, you decide to give 2 to everyone. Okay? Now, if you do this, what happens? Let's say you got 50 students. You got to go to 50 cells and you have to manually change them. You don't want that, right? You want to build it once, and you can just change this something that affects other data once and update all 50 average right away, right? That's what you want to do. So instead of using a position reference, we like to actually add this cell, A3. No matter where I copy it, I want that X credit always pointing to A3. Can we do that? And that kind of technique is called absolute copy. Okay? And the way to make absolute copy is on the cell ID, we can insert dollar sign in front of letter and number. Okay? Then what it does is that it goes to A column and goes to row 3, and this becomes fixed copy. Okay? So no matter where you copy it, it will not change that cell data information by the position, but it directly goes to that particular location, edit. This is called absolute copy. Does that make sense to you, everyone? So let's recap. What does relative copy do? That's right, relative copy means you are using cell reference or cell position information to build a formula and copy to other location. Absolute copy is pointing to particular data set, and only that cell block content will be added to all of those formula that has absolute copy. Okay? So when you make absolute reference to A3, then you do this. Whenever you need to make a relative reference, then you don't have to insert that dollar sign. Hope this is understandable to you. All right, that's it for today. And you guys have a homework project to do. And this homework project is due by next Tuesday. Probably next Tuesday or Wednesday, we're gonna start second session. Okay, so this homework will be due Tuesday, and what I want you to do is build a checkbook balance application. Okay. As you know, when you open the checkbook, I don't know how many of you actually balancing checkbook on the check. I'm talking about your checking account. When you open an account, they give you a checkbook, and if you look at the checkbook, right? Actually, let's open up the Google and look at what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I'm going to look for checkbook. Okay, so this is basically what I want you to build. Yeah, you can find all this thing in Google, but try not to copy someone else's, but create your own. Okay, so what I want you to do is on the first column, create a date. Okay, and as you enter the like 6/24 for June 24th, you have a predefined date format onto that column, and it will change it to this month, day, year format automatically. Okay, then here is a check number column, and this has to be manual, right? And there's a transaction description column. This is also manually entered. And then you have a credit debit balance. You are going to start with arbitrary balance, okay? Then depends on how you make transaction. For instance, say this person had a check 214 used for shoe store and wrote check for 89.99, right? Well, how do you balance it? You're supposed to subtract this from here, isn't it? And that's gonna give the balance. but whenever you have a deposit, that should be added on to previous balance. Okay? Or sometimes you may have both deposit and debit transaction. In that case, you add credit to the previous balance and subtract debit from the previous balance to get the correct balance amount. If you do not have any idea how to do it, maybe you can use this as a data set. And what I want you to do is build this Excel application, okay? And I want you to build a formula here. So as soon as you enter any debit and credit transaction here, the balance is going to be automatically updated. Is that clear? And you should also make each row like exactly like this. So one row should have a little blue background, and next row will be white background, blue background, white background. So you can read these transactions easier. Okay, so I want you to create a checkbook balance Excel application and submit your completed work by Tuesday. So just to think about this particular transaction, then these has to be automatically updated using your own customized formula. Okay, you might have to use relative copy, absolute copy, I don't know, think about it, and if you can build a formula here, then that would be great. So that's your homework due Tuesday, and until next time, have a good time, and hope you learned well a lot today. Okay, have a good night.